Hello, my dismissed, gaslit, yoga ed, and absolutely done with it warriors, and welcome back to Is This Menopause or Am I Finally Free? I'm Sam, and today we're talking about something that might not show up on a hormone panel but is one of the most common and infuriating experiences of menopause, medical gaslighting. Being told you're too young for menopause, too old to bother treating, that it's just stress, just aging, just in your head, just something you need to accept. If you've ever walked out of a doctor's office feeling small, dismissed, unheard, or questioning your own reality, this episode is for you. You're not crazy. You're not difficult. You're navigating a medical system that was never adequately trained to care for menopausal women, and it's time to learn how to advocate for yourself like a well-informed, unstoppable force. What's actually happening? Why is medical gaslighting so common in menopause care? The short answer: most doctors receive little to no training in menopause medicine. A 2019 survey found that only 20% of obstetrics and gynecology residency programs offered any formal menopause curriculum. For primary care physicians, the number is even lower. They are expected to manage a life stage that affects half the population, and they were handed no playbook. The result? Symptoms are misattributed to stress, depression, or normal aging. Hormone therapy fears from the 2002 WHI study still dominate many practitioners' understanding, despite 2 decades of updated research. Many doctors still believe hormone therapy is too dangerous to prescribe to anyone, which is not evidence-based. The dismissive phrase, "you're too young for menopause," when a woman is in her early 40s ignores that perimenopause often begins in the late 30s or early 40s. The phrase, "it's just aging," dismisses treatable symptoms. Add to this the historical pattern of women's pain and symptoms being taken less seriously in medical settings, and you have a perfect storm. The sloth manager who now runs your body is very clear about what she needs, but she's speaking to a medical system that doesn't speak her language. You're not being difficult. You are experiencing a failure of the system, not a failure of your own perception. Is this normal? Checklist. Let's sort frustrating but fixable medical encounters from reportable medical neglect. Frustrating but fixable. A provider who says they don't prescribe hormone therapy but refers you to someone who does. A provider who's willing to learn or look up resources you bring. A provider who admits they're not an expert but doesn't dismiss your concerns. These are signs of a decent practitioner with limits. A referral is appropriate. Red flags that mean find a new provider immediately. Being told you're too young for perimenopause when you're in your late 30s or 40s with multiple symptoms. Being told hormone therapy causes cancer without any nuance about absolute risk, timing, and modern formulations. Being prescribed antidepressants as the only option without discussion of hormone therapy, if you're a candidate. Having your symptoms dismissed as just stress without investigation or follow-up. Also, if a provider refuses to order testing for recurrent UTIs, bleeding, pelvic pain, or other concerning symptoms, that's not just dismissive, that's negligent. The rule: you are the expert on your own experience. If a provider makes you feel small, unheard, or ashamed, you have the right to leave. You are not a medical school exam they can fail. You are a patient seeking care, and you deserve respect. Survival Toolkit. Now, how to advocate for yourself and find the care you deserve. Tip 1. Bring data, bring scripts. Walk into appointments with a 1-page summary: your age, time since last period, top 3 to 5 symptoms ranked by severity, how symptoms impact your quality of life, what you've already tried, and your family medical history. Use scripts like, "Based on my symptoms and history, I'm concerned I'm in perimenopause or menopause. Can we discuss my options including hormone therapy?" Or, if you're not comfortable prescribing hormone therapy, "Can you refer me to a menopause specialist who is?" Data turns an emotional plea into a clinical conversation. Tip 2. Find a certified menopause practitioner. The North American Menopause Society, or NAMS, has a provider directory on their website. Search for a certified menopause practitioner in your area. Telehealth options also exist if local options are limited. A provider who sought out this certification is usually up to date on the evidence and won't dismiss you. Tip 3. Bring a support person. If you're nervous about being dismissed, bring a partner, friend, or family member to the appointment. They can take notes, validate your account, and provide moral support. Sometimes, unfortunately, a second person in the room changes the dynamic and makes providers more careful about their language. Tip 4. If you're dismissed, fire them. You do not owe loyalty to a provider who doesn't listen. Write a calm, factual email or letter stating that you are seeking care elsewhere because your concerns were not adequately addressed. Or simply transfer your records and move on. You are not being dramatic. You are being a self-respecting patient. Tip 5. Know that it's not you. The system is broken, not you. The lack of menopause education, the lingering WHI fear, the gender bias in medicine. These are systemic problems. Your frustration is valid. Your symptoms are real. Your desire for treatment is reasonable. Repeat this to yourself after every hard appointment. So, you screamed into your purse in the parking lot, and then you fired your dismissive doctor. That's not failure. That's self-advocacy. The medical system might not be designed for you, but you are learning to navigate it with data, scripts, and the unshakable knowledge that your experience matters. Next episode, Menopause in the World, Work, Relationships, and Invisibility, where we talk about navigating ageism, partnership dynamics, career shifts, and the cultural erasure of midlife women, and how to take up space anyway. Subscribe, hit the bell, and drop your worst "my doctor dismissed me" moment in the comments. Stay fierce, stay informed, and remember, you're not dying. You're just fighting a medical system that's 20 years behind, and you're winning. See you next time.